It's early morning in Flagstaff, beautiful fall morning, kind of belies the kind of negativity that we're going into in terms of heading towards the Navajo Res and Kayenta. Our next stop on this trip is Piñon, which is on the Navajo Reservation, and we're going to be talking to some representatives of the Black Mesa Water Coalition.
This whole, like north of here, that's the whole reservation. There's this haze, and we have a power plant maybe 50 miles or less east of here. And then the Navajo generating station is further up north that way. Particulate matter, like PM3 or PM10, which is like one of the small fine particle pollution that comes out of smokestacks. Some of it is so small you can't even see. And that's the pollution that is really harmful to, like, you know, when we breathe, it can cause bronchitis, it can cause so many things.
Thank you for coming all this way to be here with us, but I'll try to inform you a rundown on how the state of Arizona operates. There was a whole mess amount of water usage for slurry, using fresh ice age water to slurry coal to a power plant 273 miles away, day in, day out for 35 years. We provide those stadiums to have Super Bowls, 110 medical centers between Phoenix and Tucson, 54 junior college universities. We provide that power and energy so they can live comfortably like this. In the greater city of Phoenix, they have 1,500 miles of freeways, 4-lane one way, 4-lane the other. We have a unified school district that has 1,300 students that are bused in daily. They run 2,200 miles bus route. 1,900 of those miles have no infrastructure. In the wintertime, our children have to miss school, while we provide power and energy to a city that don't miss one day of school. We're seeing impacts as far as subsidence. First, we used to see it up closer to the mine. Now we're away about 20, 30 miles away. We're seeing subsidence taking place and earth fissures. That's where the Black Mesa mine was. The water coal processing plant was on that side. What we're going to see is this top side is Kayenta mine.
There was a moment that we were coming into the land of the mine. We saw how the contamination and how the coal is just open to the surface of the environment, and it's hurting the environment.
We're finding out from Wyoming and Powder River Basin area in Montana that a lot of ranchers that have already experienced coal mining, when they got the land back, they noticed that it's too toxic for their animals to graze. Here's the beginning of the conveyor belt. This conveyor belt transports the coal to Navajo generating station. So it starts back here and it goes all the way down the mesa.
And it was kind of risky because you know that the mines have security all around. Even our guide was kind of worried about the situation.
Do you see that? Yeah, keep going.
We continue. There were some signs of danger, don't come in, but we all the group, we had the challenge of getting to a house of a family.
His name is Simon Crank, and he's born and raised here. His grandma told him that it has 4 generations that they lived here. He was one of the first people that was employed to make this mining to be where it is today. They came with promises that they will have jobs, electricity, running water. In the wintertime, towards the end of the evening, it was getting ready to shut down for the night. They were told we need to blast one more time before the sun falls. And so he was trying to hurry, and he overstepped one of the leads and fell to his knees and collapsed his kneecaps. From that day on, he was released from work. The doctor said, "You're disabled to go back to work." The doctor statement that they were giving him was that the original statement was, "You're going to have compensation till the end of your day. He's been on compensation up until last year. And then he got a letter saying that we will not cover your compensation no more.
No explanation as to why they just refused suddenly to stop paying.
Even the
Peabody
attorney orders that there's no more compensation to stay on, is all he knows.
The mines are supposed to be providing jobs, but at what cost are they providing jobs? What effect is it having on the overall people? What I've seen so far has been a great interest to me, and I'm looking forward to tomorrow. Right now I'm back in my hotel room. Been out all day from like 5 o'clock in the morning and on the road. I'm pretty tired. I just want to get through some of these emails because we're going to have to get up early in the morning and start all over again.
We left Kayenta this morning and we drove over to Page, so we're at Glen Canyon Dam right here near Lake Powell. So yeah, we're taking a little tourist stop before we go to Navajo Generating Station. There's just all these different parts that seem to be interrelated with the coal coming from the Black Mesa coal plant, which we saw yesterday, that being used to power NGS. So it'll be really interesting to see that inside.
We have cooling towers, and that's what you see out here, the big steam plumes. That's a way that we can trickle this water like an evaporative cooler and remove that excess heat, and then we recycle that water round and around.
right now, his actual demand is 807 megawatts. So we run about 800 megawatts. We run a little above that. And then we use about 50 megawatts of that just to run the plant equipment. So we're actually putting into the system 761. So that's what's going out to the customers. And he can see all his vital stuff, his temperatures, his pressures, and we have real tight parameters to stay running. And so we have a control system that does a very good job of controlling for us.
It was pointed out at the plant by its operators that they already have considerable scrubbing equipment to take care of both SO2, which is the pollutant that is blamed for acid rain in various places in the world, and for NOx, the different types of nitrogen oxides that will be leading to brown cloud haze. We also heard today how the Endangered Species Act is being used in order to consider a pollutant that is not on the radar screen at Navajo Generating Station, and that's mercury.
One of the worst pollutants that we see regionally is mercury. Power plants rain down mercury, it metallizes, gets caught up in vegetation, underwater vegetation, and works its way up through the food chain.
I very much appreciate New American Media for putting together this trip, not only for the chance to do the visiting on site and see with one's own eyes and hear with one's own ears what is being understood in the perspective of the local population, industry, and government, but also because in bringing in experts, you usually are able to obtain a great deal of insightful information.
I work for the Gila River Indian News, and they kind of like a lot of people in Arizona, they have a very vested interest in Navajo Generating Station operating and staying open because it powers and brings water to a lot of the state. This is also a Native American culture. I'm sure they can identify with the everyday Navajo who is not getting the most benefit out of the station and who is kind of being left out.
A lot of these reporters who are here maybe have never heard of the issue or kind of know a little bit, but not so much. So it's nice that it got exposed to other outlets.
My readership, many of them do not know about this, and that's why I'm here to help them become aware of it and maybe take some action and see what they can do to help people be able to find a solution.